Hello, guys. How we doing tonight? Can I get a quick confirmation that you guys can hear and also see me? I am doing great, Dominic. It's been awesome to see your engagement. I just want to say, beautiful to see. Awesome. Been a weird day, and I love opening my social media on FOMC because so many different people engage with it in so many different ways. I used to have some great results with FOMC trading before, during, and after. And by during, I mean before the press conference, but at the initial liquidity injection of 2 p.m. and even after. But recently, in the past probably 3 to 4 months, I've actually decided not to do that anymore. And I very rarely get a trade during FOMC because I only look to trade after, and not just any time after, but specifically 15 minutes after. If you look at the resources and basically when you look at the um, economic news events thread, I was looking for the word, sorry, the X thread I did that can be found in resources under Rise Trading Model, you will see a bunch of things, but for FOMC specifically, we look to wait until 2:30, which is a press conference, and 15 minutes after. So that's what we're going to look at today. And we actually had a beautiful setup that we'll look at in a second here. But more importantly, you would have skipped all the bullshit from the morning. And that's what I refer to it as, bullshit. Right? From our daily chart, we were inside of a daily fair value gap. That's always a great position to look for longs, and especially since Monday we've only been going lower. This is a great area to look for Wednesday reversal, right? We talked about this during the weekly outlook, actually, where we would anticipate that if we are bearish, we're going to go down and see a Wednesday reversal into a Thursday continuation. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Wednesday's low form the low of the week. But it was beautiful within a daily fair value gap right here. Let me just mark it out as such. If we go down to 15-minute here, and let's actually go in replay mode so we don't see today's price action. A lot of information here, right? A lot of information. You guys will actually see this in a second. Let's actually, for now, remove those drawings from our chart. But what do we see? Well, very simply, we expanded like crazy at the start of Asia. I don't know if you guys were live for this, but we saw a pretty nice 1.7% upside movement. Trump and his Trump things, again with tariffs and talks with China now are being set up. Truth is, I don't care much for this. What I'm interested in is the daily structure, right? And after a large expansion like this, we have to return to these levels, right? So of course, if you were trading in the morning, I believe that you'd be bearish, looking to return to the daily open, perhaps even to previous day low within that daily fair value gap. That's a beautiful framework that you could look to trade, definitely. But as for myself, I was looking to long. So what do I need to wait? I need to wait for this level to be met. Even better if we reach previous day low, and then I can look for long opportunities. And you might see red lines here. What are those? Well, you have 230 right here and 245. So 230 is the press conference, and 245 is when I can start looking for a trade. If we look at that part, and I'm not going to analyze the morning, because as I said, I don't treat that. I don't believe anyone should trade that. It's honestly very painful to trade before FOMC in most cases. And more often than not, you're going to be stuck taking two losses during a continuation, not a continuation, a consolidation. Now, of course, there were some opportunities here, right? There were some beautiful unicorn setups short here, beautiful continuation setups here just after lunch. Nothing that interests me. What I'm really interested in is at that 230 mark, I now look. Because if I spend more than 15 minutes at analyzing my charts, I make too many mistakes. I start inventing stories. I've noticed that a while ago. That's why in the morning, I don't look at my charts until 9:15. There's no point. I'm just going to look, build an idea, and my first idea is usually the right one. And then I just build more ideas, and I just convince myself that that isn't right. And if you are feeling like that, I would consider, well, I would recommend you guys put a limit like I do myself. 15 minutes, I do my full analysis for the entire day, what I'm looking for, and then that's it. That's my idea for the day. I cannot change it. I cannot do anything. And putting that 15-minute mark really helps me out. But at 2:30 is when I started looking. I saw that we had a lunch rate framework in process, right? So we formed a range during lunch. We rated the low, so I'm now looking to target the high. But I need to wait for one thing. I need to wait for time to align. And in this case, our event in time, right, is the news. It's our high impact news event. So as we see, we have our higher time frame points of interest, right? We have previous day low and our daily fair value gap right here. You did form a unicorn setup here, but I'm not looking to trade just before 2:30. That's myself. Today we didn't have much of a reaction. We had most of it near 2 p.m., but we can see quite a big reaction at those times usually. Now we had a pretty unusual day with the 300 handle move at the open, but still. Next up, 2:45, I can now look for a trade. Well, personally, I was looking for a breaker block to form here, and there was a lower time frame breaker here. We can go down to the 30-second. As I always tell you guys, sometimes I find them and sometimes I don't. I saw this, but this was just not interesting to me. Because if you focus on it and you see this, well, you're like, okay, well, it first went down here, then it went up here, and then it went back down here to then go back up here. This doesn't form the sorts of patterns I'm looking for. And if you guys remember from last week, I actually said that I'll be stopping to use the 15-second and only going as low as the 30-second if ever. So there wasn't really a good setup there for me to consider for long. But I stayed on my charts because I'm looking for a trade until the end of the day. It's actually the only day in the month that I'll be trading those times, right? I'm always done at 2:30 if I'm trading the PM session. But if it's FOMC, I'm holding on and even looking for a scalp late, 10 minutes before the close of the regular trading hours. And see, because of this, I would have had the opportunity to take this beautiful long. Now, perhaps some of you guys were bearish, and this is the first setup you saw post FOMC. You entered right here on this beautiful unicorn, right? Nothing to say about this trade. You had a nice 3PD array stop loss rule. And as you can see, you had plenty of opportunity to take profit here. There's no way I'm taking profits if I'm going short before those relative equal lows, right? I'm looking at this and it's very pretty. But that's where bias comes in and narrative. I just tapped into the daily fair value gap and I had a nice reaction. Previous day low, lunch high right here is a statistical target. If you go to Rice Statistics, you'll find it. When we raid lunch low during the PM session, what is the probability of reaching lunch high? Add to that economic news filtering, where you can look on days where there is FOMC. How are those probabilities impacted? And that just gives you all the confidence in the world to look for lunch high. When I'm trading the PM session, I also like to look at the AM session high and low, 9:30 to noon EST, right? So we had a very nice framework there as well. Basically just a very nice manipulation lower, taking like 4 points of interest in this case. So very clear long in my book. And then I was just waiting for a long here. Pretty much lost all hope at this point and was just, gonna wait until 4 and close my charts and say, you know what, didn't get a trade today. But I saw some nice SMT here, even though we're very low in this range, right? And these are obvious liquidity objectives. The SMT gives me the confidence that I can then look for this trade. If we look with the SMT, and I'm trying to see this, yeah, this was misdrawn. You have the SMT, which forms your breaker block here, and then you have your overlapping fair value gap giving you a great entry. 3PD array stop loss rule, inversion fair value gap, and order block. So your stop will be at the low of the order block here. And as you can see, 2.44 R in 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Why was lunch high my partial? Why was it not that level below? Confidence, statistical confidence. So for the sake of pessimism, let's just use this objective because it's super beautiful. It's a liquidity target, recent liquidity, right? You can call those relative equal highs. All of this low resistance liquidity, reversal range with the standard deviations, right? This is a very, very nice objective as well. So for the sake of pessimism, we'll say this. I personally held till lunch high, statistical confidence, and then AM session high is where I fully closed my trade. We barely ran further after that, so it was actually pretty nice. I still had a runner in the position, which as you guys know, I always close my trades at 4 p.m. at the open of the candle, because that's when it is 4 p.m. I've taken this how can I say this? I've taken this rule, I guess, from because of prop firms. I had to before. Now I don't have to anymore, but I still really like this rule because overnight margins can be pretty intense. And in volatile markets, or just any markets, to be honest, I don't like holding throughout multiple days if I'm intraday trading. If I'm swing trading, okay, that's a different mentality. When I'm putting a position, I'm taking a midterm play or sometimes even a long-term play. When I'm intraday trading, I want to be in and out for the day. So it would have been fully out at this position. I actually took it out just before. So a little, well, I mean, pretty much the same price. But a very beautiful framework, a very simple framework where you didn't have to think much, right? I just showed you 4 possible reasons to take this trade. But truth is, you only need one. You saw the lunch trade? Cool. Clear, clean trade, clean entry. You're just waiting for your entry. Your model setup's here. SMT, it's an A plus setup. I'd say it's an A setup just because we're so close to liquidity like this, but we are in discount. So, I mean, that's better in that case too. And we did have, did we have SMT here? No, it was before that we had SMT. But you had SMT right on those lows. People like to call local SMT or internal SMT. So definitely a very simple trade. Even if you just saw previous day low and you were looking to then retrace to a close, well, that's another reason to long. AM session high and low, another reason to long. Daily fair value gap, daily point of interest, another reason to long. So if you did not long, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, you probably made money because the first short actually worked out. I mean, there was this one too. Was there an entry? Possibly an entry to go short here, so that would have been a loss. Truth is, I have no reason to short on a day like this. We've already shorted plenty. I'm looking for retracement, which I am considering to be at least a retracement, and I have my statistical targets. I don't need anything more. I believe it was you, Dominic, that was asking for strategies in relation to the right statistics indicators. And the truth is, the goal of those indicators are not to give you buy and sell signals. They're to give you an insight into the statistical levels that are discussed within the app. So if you open the right statistics app, then you can see all the numbers. You can search for frameworks that even I haven't found yet, right? There are over 1 billion data points on the app. I think we're at like 1.3 billion data points currently and constantly growing, right? But the truth is, you have those frameworks in the app, like for example, the ranges and the rates and how often those rates are met and when those rates are met. Well, the indicators are here to facilitate the trading of these frameworks, right? To help you see those frameworks. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm very visual. It's nice to see numbers. It's harder to understand them. But if I have an indicator that can show me those frameworks, then it's a lot easier. And I've been messing around with this background tool. I kind of like it, but I feel like it's ugly when reviewing charts. When I'm trading it, this is on my trading thing. And as per someone recently asked, I will be sharing my layouts entirely. I will be making some nicer looking layouts. I also have a new indicator that I want to be adding to that layout, and I'll be sharing the layouts for Rice Statistics, right? And for anybody, actually, I'll be sharing that for free, probably in the resources tab, or maybe I'll just make an announcement, but just so everyone can access them and see them and enjoy them. Do we have any questions, guys? I mean, pretty straightforward, right? No, I'm not going to consider any shorts anyways. There was no bearish breaker formed, so no opportunity to short for my specific model. It was really just a clear-cut day of wait after FOMC, bullish setup because I am bullish for 7 different reasons. Take the long, clear, long, take profit, take profit, take profit, stopped out on the final runner due to time, a buy to cover is what NinjaTrader calls them. I'm seeing you type out Fletch, so I'm going to give you a second for your question. But a pretty straightforward day if you look to trade B after the news, which is why I enjoy it so much nowadays with FOMC specifically. No, I tried it for a month or two, Patrick. So I used to never trade the AM session before FOMC. I never did that. And then I saw people doing it. So I was like, okay, let me backtest it. And I saw there were some successful frameworks there. So I said, okay, well, why not try it? I did it for a month or two, 1 or 2 times, pretty much. And it's just a waste of my time. That's the thing, right? Because when we're doing things like this, we don't think about hourly pay and EV and stuff like that because you don't have a regular job. But I think about these stuff, right? I think about how much time I'm spending on my charts and is that time worthwhile? And trading before FOMC is not worth my time. I am worth more than the amount of money I can make during those sessions once a month. So what do? I don't. I don't trade it. It's a waste of my time. But I was wondering that SMT at 330. Did you catch that with an indicator or by eye? For me, by eye, because indicators for mainly for SMT are always lagging, right? Basically, what you see here is where I see most SMT, but I'll showcase my trading layout as well. Let's see it. It's going to load, no worries, guys. This is my trading layout. And you might not see it directly here, but this is ES right here, and this is NASDAQ. So it's pretty easy for me to see SMT because my ES chart is so zoomed in. And what I do is I use this little dot, which is basically the crosshair, right? I just don't like the cross. So I take the little dot, and as you can see now, my crosshair is lined up on all charts. So if you look at my bottom chart or my top chart, they are lined up. So now I just look at swing points. I see this, I see this, I see there is no SMT in this case. Which of the charts do you execute on? I do not execute through TradingView. I find it to be very lagging in live conditions. But yeah, this is my full-on analysis. I look at this. This is how I establish trades. And then I just swipe my mouse to my other screen, execute. I also have my laptop near me while I am trading. And I also, most of the time, have some kind of Netflix going on or something. And yes, I will be sharing these layouts. I just want to clean them up a little bit. Make sure everything's there and all that such. But probably there will be a version 1, and I'll just make sure they are constantly public so that when I update my layout, you guys can still have access. This was recommended by Dominic here, so give him props for that if you guys enjoy. Any final questions before we call it a night? I mean, we can spend more times. I'm supposed to go to the gym after that, do legs, so make me stay here for a little while longer, please. I guess not. All right. I'm going to give you all a second. I never know what to say because right now you guys are typing, right? So I'm just waiting for that. I'll follow later on YouTube. Appreciate your analysis. Thank you, brother. I'm glad it can be of help to you guys. And you know, not a lot of people join these, let's be honest. And truth is, I really don't care. Because the people that do, I am helping. And that makes me really fucking happy, guys. In terms of the CISD indicator, any suggestions for a time frame to set it on in order to draw the deviations correctly? I do not use CISDs at all. I actually made this indicator for other people, right? I'm not going to only make indicators about stuff that I like because there wouldn't be much, right? So I don't know what to tell you. I know that personally, I've seen transitory trader Chris use the 12-minute and he swears by it, loves the 12-minute. So you could definitely go get into there. But myself, I don't use them. So sorry, I can't be of help in that direction. There is data coming about CISD soon, Dominic. Not enough people do, but they are missing out. Yes, sir. Well said. Glad I can help. Yep. Well said, Patrick. always some nice pictures, always some nice executions to see from Chris. Definitely a very good trader. On that note, guys, we're going to call it a night. Very happy to see you all in here. I hope you like this new format of PA reviews, trying to make them a little bit quicker, a little more prepared. I wish you good luck trading tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see each other again tomorrow for customary price action review. Have a good night, guys.